Welcome to ShiftWatch. I'm your host, Starbuck. In this episode, Sheila and I had a chance to further our discussions for her audience around growing interest in multidimensional topics, this being part one of a four-part series. Next, here's an update from the Earthmaster on understanding the effect seismic activity is having on the land masses, resulting from shifts in the tectonic plates. Then, here are a few more recent observations of activity to share with you from the skies over San Jose and Moreno Valley in California. And finally, I've been helping others acclimate to the idea of inner Earth locations and some of the cities I have knowledge of. This one is Telos, the Lemurian capital beneath Mount Shasta. What I'll learn later is that I am a Lemurian and that I did incarnate for this very purpose for right now. There were only a certain amount of things that our vibrations could change. There's lots of energetic help around us, lots of other angelic help in the next realm, all standing by waiting for us to help. But there are things that they can't do because they're not incarnated. This is why many of us did incarnate back in the 50s and the 60s, because we knew that this time was going to come. And the only way that we could really enact change was to be in incarnation here. And so, this was the avatar I chose for this one, knowing that somewhere before my life exhausts here, the Earth is about to flip into her new form. I've been out here long enough so that, maybe I should kind of lay out what my expectations were. At first, when all this happened, and it was made clear to me that a lot of the information I was receiving was meant for everybody, that I was an example. Really, that's it. And if people start to look at, the way that your light shines and, the things you talk about, they'll either catch on or they won't. Yeah. And at first, I really thought that I was here to be a new catalyst. And I thought when the uninitiated heard me or saw me, that all of a sudden something would shift inside of them and they would at least be open to exploring things they had not in the past. Well, it didn't work out that way. And so I'll share a little bit about somebody I had met, Kumu. And Kumu was the one responsible for me connecting with the light beings I have my interactions with. Oh. The very first conference I ever spoke at, there was a young woman named Barbarella to stay and catch me at the end. And then for about an hour and a half after, we kind of shared a lot of things that she had not opened up with anybody else yet. And I thought, I felt good about it when it was all done. Well, later that evening, I had talked to Kumu, and I explained what had happened. And she said, "That's one." I said, "What do you mean that's one?" She goes, "Yeah, you're going to be one at a time in it for a while with people. You will talk in front of groups, but I sense that's not where you're most effective. You're most effective in small groups." And so the whole time I was expecting this flood of people to come that never did, I learned to be content with the ones and twos at a time because they get it. Exactly. They want to move to the next level, and that's what I'm here to help them with. The clock is ticking. I'm just telling you that this change that the Earth is going through is imminent, and I'll hold myself up as an example. I'm a guy who's had a third dimensional life and was very successful, and I have no business talking about any of this. So why do I feel like I'm compelled to do it? Because I'm here to help the rest of you get it. I have levels of information that have been revealed to me that'll help you guys come to terms with this change that's coming, and I'm ready to help anybody. But I'm not beating anybody over the head with it. And if you don't agree with it, I understand that and I respect it. You have your own journey, your own lessons you're carrying out. Who am I to get in the way of that I really want to see you succeed because I want to see who you master at the end of all of this too. Earth's ascension and humans' ascension, two different things. Earth, she's guaranteed. She's a lock. She's in a cosmic cycle that she's been into for a long time. We're just part of the sentient critters crawling on her surface, hoping that our vibration matches hers when the time comes when hers rises. That's what all this effort's about. That's all the things that we're talking about, is to get everybody on board with the idea that your vibration matters. Mm-hmm. And so if you need to break that down to figure out how you adjust it, get a hold of, understand your system, how your chakras function, make sure they're all functioning properly, and then your connection will take place. I'm here to tell you that I've had enough of these multidimensional experiences from inner Earth beings, ultra-terrestrials. The time is right for this contact to take place. And I was even told last year that greater contact was going to be made. I kept waiting for the rest of you to catch up and share your stories with me. I didn't think I was going to continue on my path. And really, at the beginning of the year, I recognized that I actually stopped some of my spiritual growth because I was ignoring new things that were being presented to me while I waited for the rest of you.
Let's see on the Earthquake 3D globe what we got. Some further activity escalating around Taiwan. This is going to be this area right here where we've seen, you guys remember that big time swarm that was going on here? We've seen a bunch of 4s, a bunch of 5s, a bunch of 6s, and then it just stopped. This was a couple months back. Maybe it's been a few months back, like 4 months or so ago. This area is starting to swarm again a little bit with a 5.4 and a couple other 4s. And maybe some other smaller quake mixed in there as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. That obviously a sign of increasing pressure out here against the Filipino plate. There's one more earthquake last night near that subduction zone that the Japanese government put out a warning for in terms of a mega quake potential. That's going to be the subduction zone right here, capable of producing an upper 8 magnitude earthquake here. And they're a little concerned about it due to the increase in earthquake activity that we've seen here over a week ago now with that 7-pointer that struck in that area. So something big's about ready to brew here. I think California is on key to seeing some bigger quake activity until we see somewhat of a major earthquake out here across the western Pacific. Now, the reason why I say that, and it's been noted as well in certain articles, is that during the 9.1 earthquake there in Japan back in 2011, you guys remember that big earthquake there that created that tsunami? Well, that relieved strain out here for California for a few years. And I think prior to that, we were seeing some elevated earthquake activity as well. And that, pretty much came to a halt following that big landmass here, shifting of the plate here to the west. With that big 9-pointer back in 2011, that relieved the strain. So we got a whole bunch of elevated earthquake activity out here in California right now, and I think that's going to continue until we see something major happen where it could relieve some strain out against this area. It's either going to be a big earthquake out here in Southern Cal, or we're going to see something big take place here across the western Pacific, and that could include anywhere, the Crow-Kamchatka, Japan Trench, down throughout this area. You got to remember, when you adjust one portion of the plate in a significant, tremendous value, that can have, adverse effects thousands of miles away here across the eastern Pacific. So things could get relieved if we see a bigger quake out here in the western Pacific. It's just, I still got to find that article. They put out, that's a statement that due to the shifting of the land out here, how much it moved, that it relieved strain out here for California. And we really, it was a little quiet following that big earthquake activity in 2011 up until about 2019 when we've seen the Ridgecrest earthquake activity. So we'll continue to keep an eye on all these patterns and whatnot that is taking place here recently.
coming right there. There's two.
They didn't gotten the string. This is small.
¿Sí? ¿Dos? Oh, ya. Ya miré. ¿Eh?
Yeah.
¿Eh? No, ya se sabe.
I see one.
¿Sí? Mira, ahí está otra. Ahí está otra. Aquella.
There's one that's still right there.
¿Eh?
Yeah, one is
That
stay.
just that is not moving.
There was like 8 of them, but they all disappeared except for 2.
Son demasiados, hijo.
More than
No, but I don't know too many.
Look, come here real quick. Look, come here real quick.
I know.
Daniel, look, come here.
Se puso tieso.
Look at that right here in the bottom.
Ay, Dios
Yeah.
mío. Estas cosas.
No, there's nothing here. Why is that in my phone?
Fire. Go or below.
Bro.
Sí, mira.
Here, come over here. You can see them. There's 2.
Sí, a ver si las mira.
Come over here. There's 2 of them.
Look. One.
Look.
There's another
No,
one
there's
coming
only
in here.
2,
One
bro.
coming in right here.
¿Eh?
There's 2 more
Here.
coming in right here. Look.
Oh, Dios.
Here, come over here. Look, it's right
See
here.
them?
Oh, ya.
Yeah, do
One
like
vanishing.
Ah, mira, son muchas, mira.
Wait, one's vanishing.
Ah,
Wait. One's closing down.
mira nomás.
See
Wait,
here?
they disappeared.
One is up.
Oh shit, more.
Oh, it's going down.
Dios mío. No, esto ya no
It's
bueno.
80.
Esto ya no
Yeah,
bueno.
that
Ey,
is.
sí son.
The UFOs.
Bro,
There's
3. There's 3.
The one sting disappeared.
And do you see it?
Bro.
Come over here, come over here. Kind of record them over here towards me where I'm standing. Do you see how they're like posed like in a triangle?
Oh,
See that?
Yeah.
It's like a triangle.
Hold it.
No, there are a triangle. Look, they're triangles.
They're forming as a triangle.
On this side, because you can see all 3.
Where they're moving. But look how they're staying like in a triangle form.
No, they're still moving.
Yeah, and they look like a drill. We're gonna die.
One's going down.
Wait, one's vanishing.
2 are still
The
there.
fuck? You better get that
Oh yeah,
shit.
that was mine. I throw it there.
Okay.
I found that like over there because they're placing place grass.
They're forming.
Yo, guess what? I saw them at my house.
That's
That was cool.
Where?
Hey, guess what? One vanished and then they
Oh.
went down. Yeah, and they're going down some neighborhoods.
Yeah, and now they're just still right there. Look, you see? Look, they're gone. You see?
Gone.
One of them's gone already. One of them's gone, and the other one's gone too.
And mine not doing gone. Where did they go?